Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the moon's artificial origin, scientific evidence of ancient monitoring. Have you ever looked up at the moon and felt like something was off? It's the most familiar object in our night sky, a constant companion on our journey through the cosmos. But what if that familiar, comforting presence is hiding a secret of cosmic proportions? What if the moon isn't a natural satellite at all, but a colossal ancient piece of hardware? This isn't just a wild idea from science fiction. The clues have been piling up for decades, starting with the Apollo missions themselves. When NASA intentionally crashed a lunar module onto the moon's surface, scientists expected a dull thud like hitting a solid rock. Instead, the moon didn't just shake, it rang. It reverberated like a massive hollow bell for hours. This shocking result was so unexpected that NASA's own seismologists couldn't believe their data. They repeated the experiment on later missions with even heavier impacts, and every single time, the result was the same. The moon rang, confirming its strangely hollow nature. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. Let's talk about its composition. Moon rocks brought back by the astronauts contain processed metals like brass and mica, and unusually high concentrations of titanium, far more than is typically found on Earth. In fact, some samples were so rich in titanium, they were stronger and more heat-resistant than anything we could produce at the time. It's the kind of material you'd use if you were engineering something to last for billions of years, something that could withstand the harsh environment of space. It's almost as if the moon's crust is an engineered shell. Then there's the mystery of its orbit and size. The moon is the perfect size and at the perfect distance to create a total solar eclipse, completely blocking out the sun. From our perspective on Earth, the sun and the moon appear to be the exact same size in the sky. What are the odds of that? Astronomers will tell you it's a 1 in a billion cosmic coincidence. But when you have this many coincidences, you have to start wondering if it's really a coincidence at all. A natural satellite shouldn't have such a perfectly circular, stable orbit. It's almost as if it was placed there. And what about the craters? We see countless impact craters on the moon, but they're all strangely shallow. Even craters hundreds of kilometers wide are only a few kilometers deep. It's as if something incredibly hard is preventing anything from penetrating too far into the lunar surface. Some scientists have proposed a titanium hull theory, that beneath the dusty surface lies a super-strong artificial shell, perhaps 20 miles thick, protecting whatever is inside. This would explain why the craters are so shallow and why the moon is so much less dense than it should be for its size. So let's piece it all together. We have an object that rings like a hollow bell, has a crust made of exotic, processed metals, an orbit that defies probability, and craters that can't seem to break through a hard inner layer. Scientists Vasin and Sherbakov of the Soviet Academy of Sciences first proposed this in the 1970s. The moon is not a natural celestial body, but a hollowed-out planetoid, an ancient ark or observation post, created by an advanced extraterrestrial intelligence. They theorized that a superior civilization used this massive machine to travel through the cosmos, eventually parking it in orbit around Earth to observe the development of life. Is it possible that the pale light we see at night is not just reflected sunlight, but a silent, patient watchtower? The evidence is tantalizing. While mainstream science offers explanations for each of these anomalies individually, when you look at them all together, a different picture emerges. A picture of a colossal engineered world hiding in plain sight. The next time you gaze at the moon, think about it. Are you looking at a simple lump of rock? Or are you looking at the greatest engineering project in the history of the universe? The truth might be stranger than we can possibly imagine. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Have you ever looked up at the moon and felt a strange sense of wonder, or maybe even unease? We're taught it's a natural satellite, a lump of rock caught in Earth's gravity. But what if that's only part of the story? What if the most familiar object in our night sky is actually an ancient piece of hardware? Today, we're diving deep into the declassified data and scientific anomalies that suggest the moon might not be what it seems. Let's start with the orbit. The odds of a natural satellite having a perfectly circular, non-random orbit that exactly eclipses the sun are astronomical. It's a cosmic coincidence of epic proportions. The moon is precisely 400 times smaller than the sun, and also 400 times closer to Earth, allowing for the breathtaking solar eclipses we see. Is this just a fluke of nature, or a clue pointing to intelligent design? Think about it, no other moon in our solar system behaves this way. The mystery deepens when we look at the moon's composition. Samples brought back by the Apollo missions revealed something baffling. The moon's crust is surprisingly rich in processed metals like titanium, mica, and uranium-236 elements you'd expect to find in a high-tech factory, not a celestial body. Some of these metals are even more abundant on the surface than deep within, which completely defies standard planetary formation theories. It's like finding a car with its engine on the outside. Then there are the craters. They're wide, but strangely shallow, almost as if something underneath is preventing deeper impacts. When large meteorites strike, they should create deep, cone-shaped craters. On the moon, they create wide, dish-like depressions. This has led some scientists to theorize that there's an incredibly tough artificial shell just beneath the surface, possibly a hull made of industrial-grade metals, protecting whatever might be inside. But the most chilling piece of evidence came from a NASA experiment. During the Apollo missions, they intentionally crashed a lunar module into the surface to study seismic waves. What happened next shocked everyone. The moon didn't just shake, it rang. It reverberated like a massive hollow bell for hours. Two Soviet scientists even proposed that the moon is a hollowed-out planetoid, an ancient spacecraft put into orbit by an unknown intelligence. They argued that the outer shell is made of rocky material, but the inner shell is a metallic hull, possibly miles thick. This hollow bell phenomenon has been recorded multiple times. Each time a large object hits the moon, it triggers these long sustained vibrations that are completely different from how a solid object would react. A solid rock would just thud. A hollow sphere, however, would resonate, just like the moon did. So what does this all mean? We have a perfectly placed object for observing Earth, an orbit that defies probability, a composition rich in processed metals, impossibly shallow craters, and seismic data suggesting it's hollow. Is it possible we're living next to the greatest engineering project in the universe? Could the moon be a permanent observation post, a sentinel placed in our sky with deliberate intent, watching humanity's every move? This isn't just a wild story. It's a puzzle built from decades of scientific data that doesn't quite add up. The evidence points to a chilling conclusion. The moon might be far more than just a beautiful light in the night sky. It could be an engineered titanium shell, a colossal megastructure designed to watch us. What do you think? Are these just a series of incredible coincidences, or have we been staring at an alien artifact this whole time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever looked up at the moon and felt like something was off? For centuries, we've accepted it as a natural satellite, a lump of rock caught in Earth's gravity. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the most familiar object in our night sky is actually an ancient piece of hardware, a colossal observation post hiding in plain sight? Today, we're diving deep into the anomalies that science can't seem to explain. Let's start with what it's made of. When Apollo astronauts brought back lunar samples, they found something shocking. The moon's surface is extraordinarily rich in titanium. Not just a little, but in concentrations far higher than anything we find naturally on Earth. We're talking about industrial-grade metals like titanium, uranium-236, and neptunium-237 elements that typically require sophisticated processing to produce. Why is the lunar crust reinforced with these super-strong, heat-resistant metals? Then there's the mystery of its orbit and rotation. The moon is tidally locked with Earth, meaning it always shows us the same face. It refuses to spin. This is often explained away by gravity, but it's an incredibly convenient arrangement for an observer, isn't it? Even more baffling is its perfect orbit. The moon's path around Earth is almost a perfect circle, which is highly unusual for a celestial body supposedly captured by gravity. Natural orbits tend to be elliptical. And consider the sheer mathematical improbability of a total solar eclipse. The moon is about 400 times smaller than the sun, but it's also about 400 times closer to Earth. This incredible coincidence allows it to perfectly block out the sun's disk during an eclipse, a spectacle unique to our planet. The odds of this happening by chance with a natural satellite are, pardon the pun, astronomical. It's almost as if it were placed there with intent, perfectly positioned for its purpose. Perhaps the most chilling piece of evidence comes from an experiment conducted during the Apollo missions. When NASA intentionally crashed a lunar module into the surface to study its seismic activity, the result was staggering. Scientists expected it to thud, like a rock hitting another rock. Instead, the entire moon vibrated. It rang like a colossal hollow bell for hours. Dr. Gordon MacDonald, a leading NASA scientist at the time, even stated the data suggested the moon might be hollow. Subsequent missions confirmed this phenomenon. A solid body just doesn't behave that way. This leads us to the shallow crater anomaly. The moon is covered in craters from billions of years of impacts. Yet, no matter how wide a crater is, they all have a surprisingly shallow depth. It's as if something incredibly hard is preventing projectiles from penetrating too far. Even a crater 180 miles wide is only a couple of miles deep. This observation aligns perfectly with the idea of a reinforced artificial hull just beneath the surface dust. So what does this all point to? Everything we were taught about the moon's origin is being challenged by its own seismic resonance, its chemical composition, and its impossible orbit. Is it possible that the moon is not a natural body at all, but an ancient hollow satellite? A megastructure placed in our sky eons ago, monitoring the development of life on Earth? The data points to a chilling conclusion. The question is no longer could it be artificial, but rather, how can we continue to assume it's natural? The evidence is there, hidden in plain sight. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the universe's greatest mysteries. What if the most familiar object in our night sky is actually an ancient piece of hardware? For millennia, we've looked up at the moon, a silent, glowing companion. But what if it's not just a rock? What if it's watching us? Let's start with one of the world's oldest cultures, the people of southern Africa. In their tradition, the moon isn't just a light in the sky. They call it Inyanga, a word that means moon, month, and healer. It's the ultimate timekeeper, guiding planting seasons, rituals, and the cycles of life itself. The moon symbolizes renewal, fertility, and feminine energy. But here's where it gets strange. According to certain legends, passed down by storytellers, the moon wasn't always there. The story goes that two brothers brought the moon here long ago. They stole it from a great fire dragon in the sky and pulled it into Earth's orbit. This cataclysmic event supposedly caused a great flood, shifting the planet on its axis and changing life forever. Now hold that thought. Let's jump from ancient myth to modern science, because the story gets even wilder. Everything we were taught about the moon's origin is being challenged by its own seismic data and chemical makeup. When NASA deliberately crashed a lunar module into the surface during the Apollo missions, scientists expected it to thud. Instead, the moon rang. It resonated like a massive hollow bell for hours. This has led many to question, is our moon solid or is it an empty shell? Then there's the math. The odds of a natural satellite having a perfectly circular orbit that allows it to exactly eclipse the sun from our viewpoint on Earth are astronomical. It's a cosmic coincidence so precise that it almost seems designed. Its craters are another anomaly. Despite impacts from massive asteroids, the craters are surprisingly shallow, as if something incredibly hard is preventing deeper penetration. What could be so strong? This leads us to its composition. The lunar surface is abnormally rich in processed metals like titanium, brass, and even elements like uranium-236, which don't occur naturally. The titanium found is far more concentrated than even the richest deposits on Earth. We use titanium for its incredible strength-to-weight ratio in advanced aerospace and military applications. So why is the moon's crust reinforced with industrial-grade metals? Could these ancient legends and modern scientific anomalies be telling the same story? A story of a hollow metallic sphere, brought here in the distant past? Let's connect the dots. Sulu lore describes the moon being brought here, causing a global catastrophe. Modern science reveals a body that rings like a bell, has an impossibly perfect orbit, and is coated in refined, super-strong metals. It refuses to spin, keeping one face perpetually locked towards Earth, like a giant, unblinking eye. Was a historical account of a technological event, described in the language of the time. Is the moon a natural body, or is it a permanent observation post, an ancient satellite placed here with intent? The evidence suggests that the most familiar object in our sky might just be the greatest mystery of all time, hidden in plain sight. What do you think? Is the moon a natural wonder, or an engineered marvel watching over humanity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy exploring these mysteries, make sure to subscribe for more. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into hidden histories. See you next time.